All
And
right.
we love our viewer.
Yeah, we do. So, hey, welcome to Play It Painted Live. One viewer, thank you for being a viewer. So, we're here with Phil tonight. Phil, what are you painting tonight?
Tonight I am working on two things. I'm working on Eldorado. I'm working on random damned and lost models. And I'm also working on our Blood Bowl Season 10, the Quahog Clam Diggers, an Amazon team.
Cool. Okay. Cool. Um, let's see. Tonight, I am working on. Um, I have this. I got this kind of loose end here, which is a paladin for SDE.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that I was painting in tandem with a tutorial I was recording. So here, let me back up a sec. Last night I was filming a tutorial on this Anima Tactics figure. This is Romeo from Church. He's a leader, and I changed up his scheme a little bit, slightly from the box art. And so if you look at this model, this model, and the SDE model, the color scheme is the same. So I figured, hey, why not? While I'm working on the Romeo tutorial, I'll work on this guy as well. But hey, I might as well work on him since he looks almost done at this point. So lots of white to be painted here. So I've got him going, and then my backup project here is going to be um, Samael from Eldorado, which actually I bought used, and he came on this base. So I think the previous owner is expecting to just kind of deal with him that way, but I'm going to paint him up. So I've got a lot of white to blend up tonight, it appears. So yeah, that's what we got going on.
Very cool.
Cool. So
Well,
Phil, since since you got kind of disconnected last week on the show, I was wondering if you wanted to kind of catch us up on what's been going on with you between then and now.
well, Mother's Day, to be honest. I've got I had three main things on my radar. One is a commission that I'm working on for Eldorado. I've already finished the Super Dungeon Explorer models that I was commissioned to paint. Now I'm finally getting to these. Two, I've had a recent surge in model availability for Epic. And I know if Jake were here, he would cut in with how awesome a game system Epic is. But we've already had that discussion, so we're not going to repeat it.
Okay.
What it does do, though, is inspire me to all sorts of bizarre fits of creativity. And I saw all these Necron models for 40K that I wasn't going to use because they were broken, they were old, whatever. And I saw in them potential spare parts for an Epic army. And I did some conversions, I did some painting, and the beautiful thing about the Epic stuff that I was doing was that I can build it one day and paint it the next and be done. And it doesn't take all that long or that much real effort.
I think
But
the effort is in actually just trying to find the minis for that, right? But once you get
right,
that,
especially depending on the army. Since Games Workshop, and it's actually kind of funny. Most of, I mean, everybody's familiar with how Games Workshop is focusing on their two mainstays. They got Warhammer and Warhammer 40K, and they used to have, although they didn't advertise it, they didn't promote it, they didn't do anything for it. They used to have on their website a little area for specialist games where you could download free rule sets, you could still order legacy models, all sorts of things. This is for things like Necromunda, Mordheim, Epic, Battlefleet Gothic, everything. Now, you look around the net when you're trying to find resources, and they have links to those original pages, but all of them end up in a dead end with the Games Workshop Black Library page.
Okay.
Nothing useful to find there, so you got to keep looking. And it's what's funny is that it's kind of a testament to how recently all of this support has been pulled from GW's main page. But getting back to the point, which is long since lost, yeah, I'm running a Necron army, which has support on the Net Epic Armageddon page, but nothing elsewhere. There's no real official models for it, so you just kind of have to do some hunting to find something that works. But and even then, you don't have options for a lot of the units that you're going to use, so you have to get creative.
Okay.
And then finally, I played the last game of Season 9 of Blood Bowl with Rory on Monday.
Okay, so that was the finals, the finals game.
The finals game.
Yep.
There was I ended up taking the spot because the person that made it to the finals had a family emergency, and so since we ended our semifinal game in a draw, I went up against Rory in his stead and promptly got my ass kicked. It was a good game. I won't. I mean, there's no qualms about that. It was a fun game, but it was a sound beating.
I would think that with your dwarf team, that the amount of tackle on your team might give the skink some problems, but
it did. It did give him problems. He ended up not having to use his, not being able to use his dodge roll all that much, but he had team rerolls, and he had more movement. He had a lot more mobility than I did, and he was able to lay the hurt more than I could. Granted, he couldn't break armor to save his life, but and all of the casualties that I inflicted against his team, for the most part, were caused by him failing his go-for-it rolls.
Wow.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I kept breaking armor, but just stunning him, and I injured a couple people to miss next game, but nothing significant. And then he killed a dwarf.
Wow.
In fact, it was a skink that killed the dwarf, so that wasn't fun. And yeah, it kind of got away from me, but like I said, it was a fun game, very bashy, and we didn't really stray too far from the center line. I went for a couple of stupid moves, but I relied on my big guy, which is never a good idea, because you always roll ones.
Yes.
I think the best point of the game, though, was when we rolled in the kickoff table, and it was throw a rock, and we tied.
Okay, so
So
then...
we randomized it.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams got rocks thrown at them,
Yep.
and both players hit by the rock were the big guys on each team.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, in the end, Rory got it 4-1, and congrats to Season 9 champ.
Nice. So Season 9 is officially in the books.
Yep.
All right, cool.
And if you're watching Rory, I've updated my stats on the page. You can do so now, too.
Cool. All right. So, all of that out of the way,
Mm-hmm.
you have kind of a big summer ahead of you, don't you?
I'm assuming you mean otherwise instead of gaming.
Yes.
Yes.
But I also kind of mean gaming, too. I mean, we're kind of busy this summer.
Well, yeah. Well, not to. I don't want to, hijack the show or anything, but I'm getting married next month.
Mm-hmm.
June
That's what I was
20th.
referring to, so that's cool. That's what we
Okay.
were going to talk about. Yeah.
Well, different priorities, different groups of folks. Getting married in Providence, so any East Coasters out there want to show up, let me know. We can find a way to sneak you in.
Awesome.
The after that, though, there's Comic-Con, which looks to be one hell of a good time. I used to go back in the day when it was not as big or crazy as it is now, but definitely looking forward to it this year. And then I have, I've been out of the San Diego area, and I still, um, I don't know, I want to get some more love for the medieval time frame, the Dark Ages. So I signed us all up for a day at Eddie's Games this Saga August. It's not the easiest thing to say, but
Suck August.
yeah, Saga in August, August 23rd, a Saga tournament. I got a lot of support from the historical gaming community down in San Diego, from our local gaming groups, and hopefully it's going to turn into a really great event with some good prizes and just a lot of turnout and just a lot of people having fun spinning their stories and turning it into one for the ages.
Saugust.
Yeah, that works.
Does Saugust work?
Yeah, Saugust works. I think we'll just start calling it that.
Maybe it's easier to easier to pronounce, but Saugust might be maybe that's the proper name. But when you're actually trying to explain it to somebody, maybe you can say Saugust.
I think that would probably be best.
Oh, hey, Jose is in the comment section. He says, "Oh wow, I would have thought Phil would have won." Lol, or LOL for you internet folks.
Well,
That's a little vote of confidence there from Jose.
I appreciate it. In the end, Rory's just got some tricksy moves up his sleeve, and I was just kind of going into it with the standpoint of hit everything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's almost easier when you're playing a more agile team like elves or humans, because you know that you've got to try and just stop them from moving around, and you're going to outclass them in strength almost everywhere you go. But with most of Rory's team strength 4, and most of mine at strength 3, I just couldn't compete.
Right.
Not in the Bashy game.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean the dwarves. It sounds like tackle did have some effect, but it looks like Rory was able to play around that and capitalize on his strengths.
He's a very canny coach.
Mm-hmm. So Rory went completely undefeated this season, which is quite an achievement, and then finished off the whole thing. So he basically ran the table. My team was undefeated until I ran into you in the wild card game.
Yeah, that was a fluke.
So yeah, but I mean it was not a fluke, and I don't think it was. Also, I mean, you did continue to move through the playoffs and end up at the final game, asterisk or not, because you tied. But I still think you definitely deserve to be there. You had a strong team this season, yeah, so congratulations for pushing that far into the postseason.
Well, much obliged.
Yeah, it was a good season, and yeah, glad to see that you guys had a good game there at the end.
We did have a few real life fans too. I think that's become one of the things that I enjoy the most about the game is when people walk up. Yeah, about Blood Bowl.
It's a great game to spectate. It is.
Oh yeah, when people walk up and say, "What's that?" and you can say, "Oh, this is Blood Bowl." You can download the rules online, get a team from anywhere, and have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And people look at it and, "Oh, that's cool," or, "Oh, I remember that," and it's just kind of fun to, if nothing else, just to be a part of that happy little moment.
Yeah, we get a lot of. We've gotten a lot of people with the "I remember that" sentiment. At least, whenever I play, I always tend to see like 1 or 2 people doing that. Oh yeah, I haven't played Blood Bowl in years, and that's cool.
Yeah.
So later this month, we have a local con, right? So
yes,
we've
2 weeks.
got. Sorry.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh yeah, that's right. That is close. I feel like I should be busy preparing something for it, and I
Well, what are you
probably
running?
should. What's that?
Well, I know you're running a bunch of demos that day, right?
Yeah, I got kind of a full schedule now. First off, I'm only going to be at Strategicon GameX for. I'm only planning on being there for 2 days, Friday and Saturday, and I'll be there. But I will be there, pretty much all day, both days. But I did schedule I kind of went overboard and kept myself on a pretty ambitious schedule. So,
It starts at 10 each day, right?
yeah, except for Friday starts at noon. But yeah,
Okay.
it's 10 each day, and it runs until Monday.
And what time does it end, or does it?
It's 24-hour gaming.
Okay, good.
So all the way until Monday, whenever it ends Monday, I don't know if it's 4 p.m. or 6 p.m., one of those. It is 24-hour gaming. So, if you want to not sleep and play Werewolf, you can do that at GameX, which is kind of cool. Now, I'm running Friday. When I get there, I'm going to be running 4 hours of Eldorado demos, and that's really just to kind of catch up on anybody who did not get a demo back in February but wanted one. So that's going on at 2 to 6 on Friday. Then I'm going to go have some dinner. And then after that, from 8 to pretty much whenever the rest of the night, I'll be running SDE Classic Mode demos. So I'll be running just the regular game in the board game area and just looking to meet some strangers. That's kind of the fun thing with SDE is that, you open up a table, you put down some really cool-looking chibi miniatures, and people will show up and want to play. And it's been a really good experience that way. So that's the plan for Friday. Saturday morning, I'll be doing Anima Tactics demos in the morning. And I'm not so sure how busy that will get. I kind of don't think it will get terribly busy because I should be done by, say, 1 or 2 p.m. Then the final event that I'm throwing is a Super Dungeon Explorer Arena tournament, which will be fun for those of you that play SDE Arena. I normally don't like throwing tournaments, and this game, for me, is a very fun tournament to throw because things move so quickly, and it's a more casual game. I think people that try to play too competitively may be a little disappointed in the fact that these are beta rules and may not be 100% balanced.
If you're coming to Super Dungeon Explorer looking for a fair tournament play, I mean, it's little figures with big heads. I mean, you're running around a dungeon rolling stars on different colored dice. It's lighten up.
Right. It's supposed to be an 8-bit video game. How serious can you be about that?
Exactly. All you got to do is just have the Mario music in the back of your head or the Zelda theme, and you're good.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the plan. That's my plan for GameX, and it is a very full schedule. And I'm just looking forward to running some games, hopefully meeting some great people, because I always do when I'm at GameX, and then enjoying the rest of that long weekend there with my family. So it should be good. What about yourself? Do you have plans for GameX?
Well, I got one day, and so I was kind of looking at it as I go early and I stay as late as I can. I want to try and hit the flea market, and it would be really nice to sell some 40K and fantasy stuff that I got.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't happen, I mean, I'll bring it all. But if I can't quite get in, or it looks like they're going to push me back to the middle of the day to get a table or whatever, I don't want to sit there all day. I'd rather be playing games.
That makes sense.
And yeah, I mean, if I only get the one day, so I plan on participating in the SDE Arena tourney on Saturday.
Okay.
And I'd like to bring my Saga stuff down, get a few play tests of some scenarios that I'm thinking about for Saugust.
Saugust, yes.
Saugust.
Okay.
And that's such a better name. It's like Stir Fridays.
But you know the problem with Saugust is looking at it spelled out does not make any sense at all.
No, it does not. But then again, neither does me running a tournament in San Diego when I live in North LA.
Yeah, that's valid. Sure.
So, but yeah, I want to get some Saga in. I'm thinking that if my Epic Infantry comes in time, I'd like to get them painted up real quick because that'll take all of about 20 minutes. I mean, they are Necrons after all. Let's be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, if other folks with Epic armies show up, then it'd be fun to get a couple of games in.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I want to hit the vendors hall and see if there's terrain that I can get, and I don't know. I enjoy the local con because it's light. It's not nearly as intense as things like Adepticon or any of that, but and it's not the huge party that I've heard Kingdom Con can be.
Yep.
It's but I like it because it's close, it's convenient, a lot of people can make it, and it's just I don't know, it's relaxed for me.
I think, in my opinion, Strategicon I would call it the demo con of the local cons. If you are interested in playing something off the beaten path, or trying something that's a little bit different than what everybody else seems to be playing, then Strategicon is a great con to do that because their miniature department is literally kind of based on that principle of, hey, let's try to offer as many different games as possible, and if somebody wants to promote a game, no matter how obscure, they are welcome to come down and show people their game. So it's a great con for wanting to try out that game that you've seen and maybe have never seen anybody play, or even just kind of keep it open and see maybe end up with a game where you're blowing up the other guy's group with a flamethrower. That's also it's just a great con for demos.
The only thing that I would advise on that is if you are, let's say, for example, that you're somebody running demos, if you have any say in the matter, try and this is no fault to these guys. I'm never one to point out irritations or flaws with other gamers, but I would advise setting up away from the chariot races. Holy Christ, those guys are loud.
Yeah, there's actually a couple of issues now. I will say, and it's part of the reason why I decided for Saturday I would only run demos till like 1 o'clock, is because not only at night the chariot races are going, but a lot of times what's his name from Monstor will run his kaiju game. And he has a mechanic where, in order to, instead of rolling for initiative, you have to scream as loud as you can, or roar, or whatever, in order to go first. Which sounds cool in theory, but then, like, the third time it happens, you want to kill somebody. So, there were some complaints about it back in February.
Wow.
Some people were not happy about that, because it's like, the chariot races are like, flip, 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 and everybody, you can kind of get behind that. It's at the very least, it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's chanty,
right?
Whereas screaming is just screaming. It's just painful to hear, no matter what the context is.
I can see that. Yeah, I'm not so much a fan. That's why the mechanic, and again, I'm shameless, but I'll do it anyways. One of the mechanics for the Saugust tournament,
Mm-hmm.
if there's a tie and it needs to be broken, whoever has the more impressive facial hair wins it.
Yes.
So that's the spoiler alert. You guys start growing beards now.
Well, that's an actual rule in sagas. So yeah, if you are
We plan on enforcing it.
if you're familiar with Saga, yes, you should not be surprised by that rule. You want to hear a weird one for breaking ties? Do you know the Eldorado rule dispute protocol?
Tell me it's whoever sinned most recently.
It's the weirdest. I'll tell you this, and a lot of people don't think this will work in the U.S. And we realize that this game was written by the French. The rule is if you cannot come to an agreement with your opponent, the first person to gently tap the other person on the cheek wins the argument.
That's true. The slap. I heard about that.
Yeah, you're just supposed to gently tap the other person on the cheek, and you will win the dispute.
Yeah.
Which is, I nearly did that to somebody when we were playing when I was playing a game of Eldorado, and we couldn't come to an agreement. But then that I knew for a fact that person had never read the rule, so I would probably gotten punched in the face had I done it.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that you got to use that with some caution.
And and if you remind a person of the rule, you're kind of giving up your entire advantage of that. It's one of those things where the person would have to have read the rule, forgotten about it, then you can tap them on the cheek, and then they're like, oh yeah, I forgot that was a rule. They'd probably still punch you in the face, though, in all honesty.
Which, you got to be honest, I mean, people get in fights all the time, and how awesome a story is that? I was playing a game with miniatures, I tapped a guy on the cheek, and he punched me in the face. I mean,
yeah, he punched me in the face, and I won the Eldorado, and I finished and won the game with my black eye.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
And then we all had a beer, and it was okay. Yeah. No, it's I had forgotten about that. I mean, everything from Strategicon GameX to the slap roll to it's
Speaking of the Cypher stuff, well, I should just say the Ninja stuff. I do have slated Saturday, June 14th. I've reserved it at Comic Quest for what we're just calling right now. We're just calling it a Ninja Day. I don't have anything set planned for it, but the idea is we'll have at least 3 of their miniature games featured, and the goal is to just get people down there and get people together, and if you already play one of the games to get the opportunity to play a few other people that might also have just recently got into the games, or if you don't play any of the games, to try out any of the 3 games and decide if you like them or not. And so I picked Saturday the 14th for a very specific reason. And that reason is because Sunday the 15th is Father's Day. So my reasoning is, hey, if this is my first Father's Day weekend, then I get to do something with gaming on Saturday. Then we can do the formal Father's Day stuff. And I should be clear to exercise my my newfound status as a father that weekend. So I think it'll work out.
Well, isn't the whole reason you have kids is so that you can do whatever you want on Father's Day?
Is it? I don't know. Who told you that, Billy?
I'm assuming, yeah. Sounds like a Billy thing you would say.
Oh man. Yeah, so that's the idea for June 14th, and then then it starts to get really busy, because then after June, that's when we have the 2 big cons of the year. So AX and Comic Con. Um,
When's Anime Expo?
Anime Expo is the weekend of July 4th.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that makes it tough for a lot of people.
Yeah, my
It literally is. I think July 4th is what, a Friday this year or something.
yeah. My sister's coming down. I won't be able to do anything that weekend.
Okay, that's yeah. I mean, that's understandable. I think that's part of the reason why we have a hard time staffing AX is because it's often for the past couple years it's on July 4th weekend, and a lot of us have plans with our families. I'm only going to be able to work one day of AX, but I want to make sure it's the busiest day. Um, so we'll see. We'll see if that how that whole thing shakes out. That is a super super busy con, and I don't know if you've ever gone there or not, but
No,
yeah,
but I hear horror stories of the cosplay.
yeah. Well, it's a bit of a culture shock when I went. I was not aware of how little clothes the kids wear these days. Few clothes, I should say.
There's a whole. I forget which rule it is. What is it? Rule. It's not Rule 34. That's a bad rule. Rule something or other. For every male character, there's a female equivalent, and vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you see all sorts of female characters done by guys wandering around in bikinis and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, the thing. The shocking part about AX is it's not the girls that we're used to. I think at this point we're between Ren Fair and Comic Con and all that. We're used to girls with the cleavage out and that whole and the skirts halfway up their butt, that kind of stuff. We're kind of used to that now. It's the AX shocker is the guys.
Yeah, the thing is, I have no problem with cosplay any which way you look at it, but the thing is that I would take the elements of a costume designed for the opposite gender and incorporate that into a costume designed for my gender, rather than just getting into a slave Leia bikini. And no, nobody wants to see that.
Nobody wants to see it. Yeah, yeah. It's funny in theory, sure, but in practice, it's not so good. So let's leave that one to theory.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, there are some instances like a Halloween party. Okay, show up in a hula skirt and a coconut bra. Okay, that's
yeah.
But that's not at a convention filled with thousands of smelly, sweaty people.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like, again, we don't want to be. I hope that this isn't sounding insensitive to whatever transgender or transvestite or any of those types of preferences. But what I was going to say about AX is if you saw a big fat bearded guy in a bikini, to me that's kind of funny, because it's like that guy, he kind of knows what he's doing, and it's pretty blatantly obvious that he's most of I haven't met a guy that isn't trying to inspire humor that's that dude. But AX, it's literally like a 75-pound kid in tidy whities walking around, and it's not just one. There's like packs of them, and I don't know. I don't find that just not for me, I guess, and I shouldn't be judgmental of the anime culture because I know there's a lot of stuff in there that I don't get. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna come clean and say I don't want to see it.
Yeah. It's just different, We're
yeah.
I'm not again. I'm not opposed to anybody's particular life choices, but as far as con choices, that's a different matter.
Yeah, it's. I think we don't understand it, and but given the choice, it's.
Now that
I don't know what this says about
by everybody.
Oh, sorry.
So now that we've been banned and blocked by everybody.
Yep. Now that Australians I haven't hopped on yet to watch. I don't know. Maybe they didn't like our conversation.
I'm probably getting into the slave Leia bikinis.
I was just gonna say that given the choice, I would rather see the fat dude with the beard in the bikini than some of these kids. I don't know why. I don't even know what that says about me. Is that better or worse? That I would rather see like the fat dude.
So how about those Dodgers, huh?
Yeah, Dodger. Yeah. Let me, so, what a great time to load some YouTube comments to see if we have any YouTube comments. It seems like kind of a quiet night tonight in the internets. Maybe it's a lot of people getting ready for Relic Nights or whatever else might be happening.
Yeah. Are you going to Monstor this weekend?
This weekend is not very good for me.
Okay.
I've got Ren Fair on Saturday.
Yeah.
So that's going to take up the Saturday. And then Sunday, Elizabeth has scheduled a photo shoot. She had a Groupon for a family photo shoot. And she mentioned that this family photo shoot is like a costumed affair.
Well, you have to do it in your Slave Leia bikini, dude.
Yeah, so I might be in the Slave Leia bikini, or I don't know. She mentioned it was a costumed affair, so and that it would be fun. So I'll find out what that is come Sunday. Yeah, the only time if I could game it would probably be mid to late afternoon Sunday, but I think that's a long shot at this point.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm trying to get some stuff to Jake, so I'm probably just gonna have to try and find him at GameX. But uh-oh. I think I'm dead. Hello? Hello? Octus? Alright, well. We appear to be live, so I'm just going to keep going until I'm either kicked off air or not. Yeah, he appears to have gone completely off. So let me see what I can find. I am not good at administering these things, so bear with me. Hopefully it wasn't the Australians. I have no idea how to do this. Let's see, play painted left group chat. Alright. So we'll try to add him again. Oops. Yeah. That might have been a very short call. I'll let him try and bring it back up, and we'll hopefully see you guys soon. Sorry.